Hello, all. You all know who I am, and you all know pretty much why I'm here. Today, the Bret Hart Shawn Michaels documentary hit the PlayStation Network, which is where I got it from. I did not get the Blu ray or DVD. Reason being is because I've seen their Hall of Fame induction speeches. I own the matches that they've had with each other. And plus, I could watch any of the matches that they've had with each other too. So there's really no point in picking up the Blu ray or DVD version unless you don't have the matches and the Hall of Fame speeches and things like that. And Bret and Shawn, I got to say this. It was very cool of how they were both open with each other about how they were able to discuss their feelings and say, I think Shawn was one of the best wrestlers of all time. Him and Marty Jannetty were a great tag team, and me and Neidhart wanted to face him. And Shawn Michaels said the same thing, and they both went over their Intercontinental title runs and how you know, Shawn admired Bret for being the company guy, and then Bret admired Shawn for taking the second tier title and being the workhorse for that belt. And then they skipped forward to the mid 90s when Hogan left and Bret took some pot shots at Hogan, and so did Shawn Michaels. They both took pot shots at Hogan and Warrior and the big guys, and they were like, well, we're glad that we were able to finally get our spot because we were small guys. And what they did with us is they started putting on tag team matches last because they knew that we could go and they knew that they would get great matches out of us. And that's exactly what we gave the fans. And then they went over the WrestleMania 12. They were still peaceful at the time. And contrary to what people say, WrestleMania 12, it was all kind of a work to get people talking, which is what it served its purpose. But the real animosity was come around, like everybody knows, 1997, they were going to do the WrestleMania match, the knee injury. And Shawn even admitted, yeah, I faked it. I faked the knee injury. I did what I had to do because I didn't want to work with him. I wanted to do things my way. Bret, you wanted to be the traditionalist. I wanted to be the bring in some attitude, even though they didn't get that for about a year later, thanks to Stone Cold. But Bret and Shawn were at least tight throughout kind of the early parts of '97, and then Bret and Shawn with the Sunny Days comment, and that's where it all got started. And Shawn was talking about Stu's dead, but his brain and his body just doesn't know it, and Shawn was being the real brash, arrogant, cocky kind of guy, and the Hitman was being, he was trying to be real respectful and all that, and trying to really, take digs at Shawn Michaels' wrestling character while Shawn Michaels was attacking Bret Hart in real life. And it all came to a head, as everybody knows, at Montreal. I don't buy the whole Canada thing, though. I've never been into that. I mean, this is where I would say, you had a gun to my head, who would I pick, Bret or Shawn? Bret, Shawn, or Vince? This is how I would look at it. From Vince's side, I would not put up with the political BS. First things first. It would all go back to the Hogan days. Hogan, yeah, you make me money, but dude, we're going to start focusing after you because we know you're not going to be here forever. So that's what I would have done. I would have sat both Bret and Shawn down if I was Vince and said, look, you both have too big of an ego. We're going to create new guys. I'm grateful for what you both contributed to my company, but I'm not going to sit here and allow you guys to run my company. Shawn, you and your clique friends are going to do what you're told to do, and you're going to help get the company out there. You're going to have the belt, and we're going to take it off of you, and that's that. So stop complaining. Bret, I know that you take very good pride in your work, and I know you don't want to work with Shawn, but you got to do what you have to do to honor your commitment. And a lot of people on their way out did the job. A lot of people did the honors on their way out. There are a few that haven't, like Trish, Stone Cold Steve, Trish. Um, let's see, probably the Undertaker won't be doing the job on his way out. Hogan didn't do the job on his way out. Guys like that. But there are going to be guys like The Rock that will do the job to John Cena on his way out. Austin did the job on his way out. When you leave, you pretty much do the honors, but it all depends on what WWE wants you to do. And on top of all that, I think, you know, Bret had that ego of, no, I don't want to lose in Canada. Newsflash, Bret, it doesn't matter where you lose because every single wrestler is lost in his or her home state or home country, no matter where you are or what time it is or what position you are, whether you're a jobber, mid card, low card, main event, upper main event type of guy, you're going to lose. It's going to happen. The Canada thing was BS. And I think for Shawn and his ego, they needed to figure out what to do with that. And the thing is, it happened. You can't change it. WWF was getting their ass kicked by WCW in the past. And they did what they had to do. And Bret was being very bitter, in my honest opinion. But it all came to a head. I mean, they both had their dark days. Bret had his stroke. Shawn Michaels had his back injury. Shawn came back, did what he had to do. Bret didn't really watch the WWE for wrestling for like years later until he really did the DVD in 2005, got inducted in the Hall of Fame, and then he managed to watch one of the greatest WrestleMania matches, if not the best WrestleMania match in history between Shawn and Taker at WrestleMania 25. And then, they started calling each other and they started to talk, and they both buried the hatchet, and it was very legitimate. And their rivalry is always going to live on at the end of the day. And yeah, they both had their whiny and crybaby moments. I'm sorry if I just made a lot of Bret and Shawn fans mad, but this is an unbiased opinion. Both guys were being real crybabies. At the end of the day, they really were. They were being crybabies, but I'm glad that they sat down for a couple of hours, did this documentary with Jim Ross, aired their grievances, made peace at the end, and now we can look past it and move on and remember this for what it was. Remember two of the greatest wrestlers of all time. That is what Shawn and Bret will be remembered for. And plus, they're not going to be bitter. Like a lot of these other wrestlers, they're not going to be bitter. They're not going to have regrets. They both can be friends like they were 20 years ago. Now they can move on and they can watch the young guys together and sit back and enjoy it for what it is. And I'm glad that they sat down and they made peace and they did what they have to do. And to the debate, of Bret, Shawn, and Vince, whose side would you be on? It really doesn't matter now, does it? I don't think it does. I would recommend it. I would watch this documentary. At least you could probably find it on YouTube. Somebody will post it, or you could download it off PSN or Xbox for like $12 to $20, and or you could get the Blu-ray and DVD version, so it really doesn't matter. But all in all, if you're a Shawn and Bret fan, I'd pick this up. You'd get some good insights out of it, and you'd get a nice little history lesson there for all you historians. So, yeah, that's my review of it. Go pick it up. Good documentary. And Bret, Shawn, thank you for being big enough to make peace, and thank you for being big enough to come on and air your grievances and do what you had to do. And now we can put it behind us and we can look forward to the future. And that's all I got to say about that. Thank you for watching.